Good day, everybody. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to be replacing the oil cooler on my Jeep 3.6 2014. This video is going to take place from this point right here because I just finished doing the timing, and while I got everything apart, I am going to be replacing the oil cooler. So if you need reference videos, I have a whole playlist. Just check that out and you'll be able to see how I got to this point. Anyways, let's get started. So I got the Dorman one right here. So we're going to swap that out. Gonna go to the ejector harness here. Spray those fittings down with some WD-40. And take my little pick. I find a pick's really good to pull those locks up. Saves you from fighting with them. And then I use my special electrical disconnect tool. To disconnect it. There we go. Because you just gotta be gentle. This one's gonna be a little harder to get in. Oh, maybe I can't get in on this side. Maybe I've used my sausage fingers. She's a little tight. I just need to get in there. Oh, I can't. So all three are off. This fuel line is a little bit tricky. So we got those plastic tabs. The blue plastic tab, we just lifted up. Sprayed the shit out of that with WD-40. I'm just gonna turn it. There is a actually just gotta take that off for right now because there's a white button there. What we're gonna do is that you have to squeeze that because that's how it releases. Oh, there we go. We got her. We got her. It's a little tricky, but we got her. So I'm going to. I'm actually surprised there's still fuel in there. We're going to move that off the side. We're going to move this off the side. And now everything's going to be ready to remove this top intake now. So now, on the lower intake, I believe there is only 8 bolts that hold it on. Intake. It's going to blow any loose debris off. I'll do spark plugs later. Perfect. And we're going to test that theory. There should be 4 on each side. No, this side only has 3. This side has 4. I guess we're going to find out. Should be 1 back here. Is there another one? Yeah, there's another one back in that corner. I'm going to have to get a swivel. It's down in this back corner. There. So now theoretically, this should just come off, but I got an electrical tab on the back there that's holding it on. And I did this. I just flop this up. Okay, I got it. I just flopped this up, but in the end I thought it's probably a little bit too awkward. So we got that off. We can look at everything. There's our connections. Let's get those all sprayed down. I probably could just use a screwdriver for this one. That one's gonna come off easy. And then there's the other one down there. There, that came off. Perfect. Now I got to remove this Baxter oil fill adapter. For a while I thought this thing was snake oil because I put it on and I still had the startup rattle, but obviously you've been watching the series. Yeah, it's not snake oil because my timing was obviously already shot by that point. Thought I could muscle it off. Not the case. There we go. Start the dismantellation of this. Oh, a little bit of oil still in there. Take all this apart. That was kind of loose actually. It was not very tight on there at all. And perfect. There's 5 bolts that hold the oil cooler on, and I hope you did your homework because it's an E-Torx. This is an E8, and they're like inverted Torx. So I got one right down there. This one. Whoops. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Just shooting some WD-40 in where that tube goes into. I think we're making headroom now. I just have to pry it like that in the front. Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, we can come out. Yes. Let's get these sensors in there. I got thread dope on it, thread sealant. There. I just want to blast that surface there. Okay. Get those gaskets in place. Into the depths of hell, Butterfingers. Butterfingers. Never fails. These are T30. I'm just gonna snug them down before I torque them, which will be 12 Newton meters, I think 9 foot-pounds. Twelve Newton meters, 9 foot-pounds. did clean up all those holes as best as I could. So now, let's get this new oil cooler in. Start fitting the O-rings in. And I need to know which one I need for that one. So mine is 2014, so I need the black O-ring. There's 2 O-rings depending on your year. I'm going to use this Lucas assembly to go on there to make it easier to go in. Get the Dorman one in, and hopefully I won't have to worry anymore. There. Yeah, the Dorman one just slid in way nicer than the other one did. Try to fish all these bolts into place. Get in there. There. Now grab my gun, torque it down. And this gets torqued down to the same 12 Newton meters. That's 1. That's 2. Three. 4. 5. Oil coolers. Torque down. So I bought a new heater hose from the oil cooler from Mopar, OEM part. Seems like you can't get one otherwise because this one here is starting to get soft down there at the elbow. Going to stick some assembly lube in this new hose. Make it slide in easier. Position it to where I want it. Yeah, with assembly lube, things go on way nicer. And I think probably like right there. It's got like a little bazooka pin. I don't know, I just fucking pull it? How does it come off? Yeah, I guess you do. You just pull it. There. Make sure we get our electrical plugged in here. Like that. And like that. Make sure it clicked into place. That one did too, because you don't want to have that come loose there. Those are all done. The Dorman oil cooler comes with new gaskets, upper and lower intake. Make sure you use them, because if your vehicle's never had the oil cooler change, those gaskets are probably hard. Now it's just a matter of bolting this back up, torquing it to spec. I don't have the oil filter housing installed because I'm using a Baxter oil filter, and that'll be done at a later date. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, post them below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.